Okay, I'm started anyway.
Good morning. Here we are this Friday morning. We're at the Southender in Warmer, and with us is Tim Stone, the owner. And Tim's going to tell us a little bit of the history of the place and his involvement, particularly with the Nostrils, who have claimed this as their clubhouse, and I don't blame them because it's a fabulous place. Tim, over to you.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Well, I bought this place 11 years ago now. Before that, I was in a family business, agency business. There's a picture in the passage which you can have a look at. We were 80 years old, and then I got a nice offer to work overseas. And so I sold the business, went to Maritzburg, where our factory was, and I worked overseas for 4 years. But we unfortunately performed too well, and we got bought out into a corporation which I didn't like. So I resigned and I retired for 2 months. 2 months was dreadful. So I bought this place as my retirement enjoyment place, and it's turned out better than I expected. And one of the highlights has been the Muir boys, the old Muir boys, in more ways than one. The first few years were pretty difficult. I think that if I didn't own the building and it was a retirement venture, I don't know if I would have pulled through, because I could remember coming here and seeing if there were any cars, if we had customers. It was tough. And then gradually we grew, and it's become a very, very pleasant little venture, and it's been made especially by my customers. I've got the most fantastic crowd of customers, of which possibly my favourite are the Old Muir boys that come on a Friday lunchtime. And I think it's now from 2017, so it's seven and a bit years already, so they've almost become family. So much so that my dog Maggie, who I'm sure you might meet just now, has taken Warwick as his grandfather. So he's, they all really are now part of the family, and they've got their own room, which they always ask for permission. They don't really need to, but they do. They're very respectful, I must say this. The old generation is very respectful, but they ask for permission to put everything up, and their room is it's a hive of interest for all my other customers just coming to have a look and see what's going on. They all, sad part about that is they asked where I am in that family in the school photograph, a few years younger than you guys.
And a different school.
Oh yes, I was a grey boy, and I don't even think we played Muir ever. I don't think Muir was big enough for us.
No, you weren't good enough for us. That was the problem.
Yeah, and there've been some nice changes here. This little place was built in 1868 as one of the original settler cottages. I was lucky enough to manage to buy both the next door houses, of which the one was a woman that gave me a hard time. She complained about the noise, so I had great pleasure in buying it from the owner and telling her to move on. And the other one next door was a Chinese brothel, which was quite a good sense of entertainment at the time. But when I bought it, I said, no, my wife wouldn't allow that, so that they had to go to, sadly. So that was the history of the buildings. As far as this place, when I bought it, it wasn't this size at all. This room that we're sitting in was a storeroom, and that only this year have I managed to complete this little smoking room without cigarettes, or a library without books type effect. We've added on at the outside quite a lot, and my biggest trouble in the old days was when the smoking law came out, of getting my customers to move outside for smoking. And it was tricky because we had advocates and lawyers and things like that. And how I did it is, a friend of mine was a policeman. He wrote a police warning for me, and even the advocates fell for it. And that's how we moved them outside. But my wife said a very clever thing to me. She said, if you're moving them outside, give them good facilities, and that's what we've tried to do. Other than that, COVID was our worst effect, but luckily we got through that. And since COVID, we've just gone from strength to strength, and it's just been a pleasure. Every Friday I look forward to the Old Muir boys coming as much as I do my other customers.
Tim, thanks very much. That's very interesting. There's a long history here. So we'd like to welcome all people to come here, not just Old Muirites. I myself am an Old Muirite, class of 69. Tim, you've done a wonderful job here, and we'll certainly be spending more time here. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.